Live. What's good? Got my boy Will here. What's shaking? So I really want to tackle, man, this mental health thing, bro. Really want to scrape the surface with that, B. Because it's not just children who are suffering from anxiety. We have adults suffering from it too.
Oh yeah, tons
Right?
millions of adults.
They're suffering from it every day, and I think the way it's like a double-edged sword. You got some people who deal with anxiety by being by themselves, being lonely, right? And then you got some people who can't be alone.
Or they'll have intrusive thoughts. They'll feel anxious just being alone. You're right.
And
A lot of people like the fear of social expectation is what produces a lot of anxiety. But we live in a anxiety producing society. Like just the way that if you just think about the way we work, especially in a metropolis city, for people who don't necessarily drive, like so you get up maybe 7, 8 in the morning and you get on a crowded train with hundreds and thousands of people, right? Packed into these trains. You get off your stop with hundreds and thousands of people moving in the same direction. It's like utter chaos. Like mentally for a lot of people, that shit is just anxiety.
draining.
But then when you even look at you work, right? You work your 5 days a week or whatever, you get your check, you gotta pay your bills, you wanna try to get things that you want, you know what I'm saying? Besides the things you need that you absolutely need to pay for. And it's like a rat race, but it never ends. So like even if you get a raise, you say you want to get a raise every year. Cool. Companies usually give people raises every year after the evaluation, but then there's inflation. So your raise don't even really matter compared to the inflation. So with that, most people are like, man, the raise ain't gonna count. I got to try to get substantially more money. And so then a lot of people get into the race of chasing the bag. And chasing the bag is an anxiety producing activity. Like regardless of like knowing that if you get to the bag, you'll be able to pay for relaxation. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to pay for the therapy, pay for the lifestyle changes and the habits to change. You can even pay for your wellness and your wellness regimen and routine. But the race to get there is anxiety producing, highly anxiety producing. So a lot of us have no choice but to have anxiety when thinking about, what's the next meal, how we're going to like budget for groceries, how we're going to pay the rent and the lights and the cell phones and get the kids something for Christmas, right? Like that's a real thing for a lot of people, and even for middle class people who make more money than people who are at or slightly above or under the poverty line, right? So like people under the poverty line is tough. People at the poverty line, it's tough. People a little bit over the poverty line, it's tough. But people that are far above the poverty line, people that are like middle class, it may not be as tough, but those people in middle class have now upped what they pay monthly because they're not going to live in the same community per se as someone that's under the poverty line. So now you have to make more money and more money. Big said it, more problems, more money, more things you got to pay for. You go from living in an apartment, being poor, you get to middle class, you buy your house. You don't know you got to pay for garbage disposal, for water, for what I'm saying, for septic, for all these different things. So it's no matter what level you get to, unless you get to the 1%, like your anxiety is going to be high. So every single one of us suffer from anxiety, just on a day to day, week to week, month to month, in through the year basis. Like we all suffer from it. So it's a very important thing to just be aware of. If you're aware of some of the things that trigger your anxiety, and just in this life, if you're aware of the things that are constant anxiety triggers, I think you'll be able to like kind of maneuver a little bit better, just to avert them, you know.
Yeah, and it's crazy you say how, you know, when people are chasing the bag, what happens? They're spending less time with their loved ones, you know, and they become detached. You know, so I think the thing that we was reading just now, it says, you know, that's why when you spend that time with those loved ones, you pretty much got to make that count. You make it meaningful. Like when you're spending time with that loved one, put down the phone. You understand what I'm saying? Do something where, you know, it's building interaction instead of separation.
Staying in the moment. That's all it's
Living
about.
the moment. Yeah.
It's about respecting every moment that you're in and staying in
Mm-hmm.
it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not being distracted by everything else, by the notifications on your phone, by you got 10 more likes. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a new follower, like dope, but you
It's
got
not important.
actual
Yeah.
people, around you that love you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we just I think love and family are calming elements, right? So every time we have like a good Thanksgiving, everybody comes back from the Thanksgiving break like, man, yeah, I felt refreshed, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not just people sleeping because we're not sleeping. People not sleeping. People not going to sleep. People not getting extra rest. They getting love when they're around their family members in the holiday season. They getting love when they're around people, when they come together, having reunions and things of that nature. And that's what could settle some of the anxiety and some of the loneliness. Like we need people to talk to on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? We need to treat like the weekend like the holiday. Like the weekend got to be like a holiday. We need to be getting up with our people. We need to get up with our family like once a week. Because we as loved ones, that's like our immediate family that's in our household that we may be around every day. But the extended family is what's needed for everybody. It's a refresher for everybody. Like it's me, my wife, my 2 kids, right? If we spend more time with like family members that live in Brooklyn or Harlem, like whenever we do see them, it's always like refreshing. You know what I'm saying? So like we need to start doing that weekly on a weekly basis. Like just because me and my wife, we're adults and we talk, but we may want to have an adult conversation with other adults. While my son that's 17, that's streaming all the time, and he's always on Discord, streaming, doing his thing. He may want to be around some people in real life to shoot the shit and just talk and bounce ideas and just share. And that's what keeps us out of that loneliness thing. Like that'll keep you connected to society because really, like I am because we are. It's like the spirit of Ubuntu all the time. Like we can't really exist without each other. You know what I'm saying? So like we need each other to keep each other sane. What happens when niggas go to jail? Niggas go to jail and they be with all criminals and they don't go insane until niggas put them into solitary.
By themselves.
Right? So it's
That's true.
like, oh well, but jail is so scary for niggas, right? Like niggas act like it's just the scariest shit ever. But niggas not losing their minds when they with the population. Niggas lose their mind when they segregated, when they by themselves.
That's
So
true.
we need people, even in toxicity. We need each other. So it's just
Energy.
we need energy. We need the energy. Like, cause I remember it was a movie Vanilla Sky. It was like the good ain't so good without the bad. You know what I'm saying? The good ain't so good without knowing the bad. So our energies, people that have low energy, people that have high energy, we need those energies around us to keep us moving, to keep us going. Like sometimes bad energy can force you to up your energy and more positivity. When you see somebody that just has a evil spirit or somebody that's miserable, you say, man, I can't walk around looking like that.
I'm glad
I
I'm
gotta
not that.
make sure I gotta make sure I'm not giving off that kind of energy. Right? That might you may be having a bad day. but you see somebody just really being just nasty, and you're like, you know what? I'm happy I ain't going through what that motherfucker's going through. Let me just have some appreciation for the things I do have, and just
this is freaking deep, bro. You know, because I'm gonna be
my shit keep going out.
I'm gonna be transparent. Like, years ago, I used to battle, with anxiety. When I was working for the studio, and I felt like me being by myself was the answer. I don't feel like it was just the answer. I just felt like I felt like that made me feel comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't even know if you know what you're doing in the moment. It's just like your body is just doing it, you
You
know?
withdraw. You just withdraw.
It's just a withdrawal, right? And I know I always felt better when I was around people. I always felt like I was better around people. And I tell my daughters about that. I say, hey, listen, I suffered from it too, you know, and the best way to deal with that is just to be around people who love you, who care about you. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of kids are suffering from now, because I think the anxiety, like when we was coming up, it's like we stayed busy. So if some, like, thank God I didn't suffer from that when I was, in high school and elementary school, because we stayed busy. I wonder if kids these days are suffering from anxiety because there are less things to do in the school system.
Bro, kids from our era, like, that's where this like childhood depression shit really started. Because remember, we was getting the internet. Like, we city kids that happened to be like in an organization that kept us busy, but we also are Harlem kids who stayed outside, stayed in the parks, and did things, outside. So like that, but that's us. That's not everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's kids our age that was in New Jersey, South New Jersey. What was they doing? Like, they wasn't necessarily they ain't got the city lifestyle like us. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that loner kind of like video game, like stay in the house playing Zelda and shit. Like, that's from our era. That shit started that, like, that whole just be in the crib, be on the internet, like digging into a rabbit hole, and then intrusive thoughts is just all running through your shit. You can't stop it.
Yeah, it's like you get into that rabbit hole, and then you just look for things to do. You understand what I'm saying? You look for things to do, things that'll keep you from being around, you know, uh, 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 different types of people or whatever the case is, or whatever insecurities you have. Those insecurities start to feed into the anxiety.
Because then you don't want to go outside and have people see how you feel.
Exactly.
Or see what you feel about yourself or whatever. Like, bro, it's tough. It's tough. Like, I hate being mixy, but it's like, bro, if you want to not be
It's
lonely out
medicine. It's
here,
like
if you
medicine,
want to
bro.
spread your fucking energy, if you got good energy and you feel like the world deserves your energy, you got to be outside with it. If you got low energy and you looking for somebody else's energy to latch on to raise you up and give you some better energy, you got to be outside for that shit. Like, you really can't like seclude yourself. And a lot of us are being like, a lot of us are secluding ourselves. Like, we're living just online. Even when we outside amongst people, we only living online. That shit is desensitized because online you got to be a character. You got to you got to kind of stay true to the character you created for yourself online, and then you got to do the online things. So you got to stay tapped into the online things, and that keeps you away from in real life. Like, IRL is where the real energy is fucking moved around. Like, not online. Like I try to tell people all the time. Like, Online is the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if you could get on like a YouTube live or IG live and you just shooting the shit, talking, you know what I'm saying? This the vibes right here.
Mm-hmm.
But in real life, people to people, that's the vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of it. Like this shit is trendy. This is vibes. This is hashtag vibes. But in real life, when you're talking to real people about real shit, and you seeing real expressions on their face and real, come to God moments and real understanding and real epiphanies, that's the vibrations. That's the shit that keep the world going. And it'll keep you going because it's a way to share. Everybody wants to share. Everybody needs to share.
I think that's I think that's what the doctors are pushing right now. Well, at least the one that I read about earlier, about the importance of social connection. Like like right here it says anxiety and depressive disorders are often characterized by perceived social disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
Yet evidence-based treatments produce only modest, et cetera, et cetera. So that's I think that could be the answer to a
Like, yo,
lot of
bro,
our
we want
anxiety.
to belong. We want
Mm-hmm.
to belong, and like social media gives us the kind of like impression that we'll be able to find our people online if you can't find them
Yo,
in
it,
real
it
life.
gives you the out. Social
Yeah,
media
it kind of
gives you the out.
gives you an out to like, well, if nobody around me understands me, then I'm gonna find my people online, and it's like, okay, but that's an echo chamber. If you find your people, for the most part, you're gonna find people that think like you, talk like you, believe in the same things as you, and that may not be the healthiest thing for you. We need discourse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to have discourse. We need different opinions and different, perceptions and vantage points and ideologies and experiences in life. We need all that
Mm-hmm.
shit.
And I think the careful part of it is like when now you got the person who can't be by themselves or get anxiety when they are by themselves.
The mixies?
Right? They get
The mixies,
anxiety
the
with
mixies gotta heal, man. That's what it is. If you
the
can't be by yourself, you got to heal. It's something in there that you got to heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, then you got people who, you got brothers and sisters, who get into these relationships because they can't be by them. They're so used to being in a relationship, or they just feel like they can't be by themselves. And it's like, yo, dude, like, or sis, learn to be comfortable by yourself.
Hey, but man, it's something about those words that start with a co. Because this nigga's addicted to Coca-Cola, cocaine, and codependent relationships. That shit is something about the co. It's something about it that gets you in. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even people who are not like afraid to be alone, right? Even those people love codependency.
Mm-hmm.
Codependency feels good.
It does. It's a drug.
Yeah, but it's not. It's nothing that helps you build. It's a drug. It's not a vitamin. it's, it's not a vitamin at all.
You have to have. I think the best way, um, for a person who's dealing with um, anxiety from being alone, not anxiety from being around people, but anxiety from being, alone, is when if you want to be around someone, right, and feel comfortable, there needs to be alignment.
Okay.
There needs to be some type of alignment. Like, why am I around this person? You know what I'm saying?
I
Or
mean that's most times the alignment isn't a sexual attraction.
mm,
So
but
like
they could
that's a
be the
little
gift. That could be a
dangerous.
gift and a curse, though. No,
Well, absolutely, because we've been misusing sex all this time.
money, cash rolls,
I mean, it's just I think. Mm,
big pimping.
no. I don't even worry about. I'm not worried about that. Like, just it's even before rap was a thing. Like I think sex was misused because sex has a lot to do with power, right? And I think that's a misuse of like sex. I think personally, just my opinion. Like sex as a power dynamic, people love that shit. People do that shit every day. Somebody's getting fucked right now,
Yeah.
right? Somewhere, everywhere,
Yeah.
right? And it's a power thing, but I don't know if that's the best use of sex because it's an energy exchange. And if someone has ill intent and is let me just say it this way, bro. If you're the person that's getting fucked, I don't care about your sexuality. I don't care about your gender. If you are someone who gets fucked, who gets penetrated, I always think like they're entering you, right? But the intent, what's the intent behind entering you? Is it just pleasure for you? Is it just pleasure for them? Is it frustration? Is it hate? Is it anger that they're getting off? Like what energy are they trying to transfer intentionally, even without intentionally knowing what
Mm-hmm.
energy they're trying to send out? There's an energy that people are trying to get off a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times when interactions come about, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it always just bothered my mind to think like, yo, like somebody could be like fucking their insecurities into you, fucking
Mm-hmm.
their like anger into you, fucking regrets into you. You know what I'm saying? And it's I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm no expert on the sexual
Mm-hmm.
exchange of energy during sex or whatever. But it's just in my mind. I always felt like weird about that. Like I never wanted to angry fuck nobody. Like
Mm-hmm.
now I understand. I understand that people and specifically some women like to be thug fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? With like I always try to keep pure intention.
Yeah.
Like there's some people who are fucking anger out into other people, right? And some people using sex as a cross addiction to something else
Mm-hmm.
that they're like, not able to use, or that's something that's way more detrimental to them. Like, they may want to drink, they may want to smoke weed, but they may feel like those things are more detrimental than sex. And so they
Mm-hmm.
may be replacing that. And so if you're replacing that, then your intent is not to have a loving or intimate or at least just pleasurable exchange. It's more so to escape. Like if you're using
Mm-hmm.
sex as like a escapism drug, then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You gotta kind of,
Yeah.
we gotta heal. Everybody gotta heal. Started this shit mental health. Like that's the whole point. We all gotta heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow,
You know?
that's deep, brother. Yeah, I mean, we got to be careful because a lot of times, women who are having
Be
such
careful.
sexual.
Be careful. I just said something about women, and you about to say something about women. It's about to turn into tonight's conversation. Eight at the table. Like, slow down.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
All right.
sometimes women, yeah, yeah, sometimes I feel like women, they like if they're having sex with a brother, you know, I feel like sometimes they might feel like, they might want more out of it than he does. Does that make sense?
I mean,
You know,
listen.
because it's like
I
because
can't
they
speak.
both because remember both parties want to be pleased,
Mm-hmm.
right? Both parties want to be pleased, but at the same time, you have some women who are like, yo, he's only smashing me because he wants a piece of booty or whatever the case.
I mean,
Like
listen,
does he want to do, is he doing this just because he loves me or because he wants to be with me? Like these are the different things
but
that come
that's
into play.
that's that's like insecurity. That's anxiety over being accepted by somebody or not.
Hmm.
or what
Exactly.
you're being accepted by that
That's
person
another.
for.
Yeah, that could be another form of anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting in front of the fan because it's got a little hot in my crib. I be
Mm-hmm.
coughing and shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, those are like little anxieties, like little
Mm-hmm.
insecurities and anxieties about
Mm-hmm.
whether you will be accepted by this person that you let
Mm-hmm.
into you or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't want to. I don't want to just speak from what a woman would
Mm-hmm.
feel because I ain't never been entered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
don't. I don't know what that.
Yeah.
I have no concept of that.
No. Yeah. We ain't got. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's so
because
true.
there's some women like remember we had when we was when Drea used to be on the show, and we used to be
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, women feel more emotion when they have sex, and she's like, yo, how could y'all say that? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
y'all don't know
She
that. She was
put it
right.
that perspective.
Hey Drea,
Yeah.
wherever your little ass is at.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
That's something
Big
that
shot. Big
continues
shot.
to play in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like every time it's like I be wanting to say like, yo, nah, but when women have sex, it's for emotion, and men be having sex for pleasure. Nah, that's not true all the
To do it.
time. You
Yeah, because you
can't
got
just say
some
that like
women out there that just.
that that has the same sex drive as us or that use sex for whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it's an energy exchange. It can result in a kid, and with the way people move out here, it can give you something that you can't get rid of. So we got to start treating this shit with a little more reverence, right? We got to
Yeah.
hold like sexual encounters to a higher standard.
Yeah.
We know that this shit could end up with a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I was talking to my man about purpose because I don't really believe in the purpose that people say they have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because a lot of it, well, everything in this world is under capitalistic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
ideals, right? Because everything
Mm-hmm.
costs. So no matter what kind of, even if you have a non-for-profit business,
Mm-hmm.
like in order for you to do things for the people that you want to help, you have to
Mm-hmm.
get donors, which means money has to be used in order to get school supplies and some, or even if it's donated, even if those school supplies are donated, like that's a write off, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
some money is involved
Mm-hmm.
in this society, right? So when you got money involved, always it's just what was he talking about? I
Uh,
smoked the sour. Hold on,
yeah.
I just lost my whole shit. Now, but when
Yeah.
you got money involved and everything is capitalistically led, it's just what was we talking about, bro?
Nah, you was just talking about you said you talking about donors and you talking about
No, but before that, initially, I don't remember what we was initially talking about. I was going somewhere with it.
oh yeah, yeah. You had me going, had me forgetting what we was talking about too. We're talking in faith, we're speaking in faith.
Nah, see, I didn't really prepare for this one. This was an
Yeah,
impromptu,
yeah,
but
yeah.
shit, I really forgot where we were.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Scratch it though, man. It's all good. You know what I mean? But
oh,
yeah, man.
purpose.
Oh, purpose,
My
yes, yes,
bad,
yes.
purpose.
Yeah, your boy was
So
telling you about
in a
purpose and
capitalistic society, when everything is under
mm-hmm,
capitalistic like laws and rules and just
mm-hmm,
ideals, like people say follow your purpose.
mm-hmm,
But a lot of people's purpose, a lot of things that people feel are their purpose, is
mm-hmm.
really the bag.
Yeah.
Because like think about how many times have you had the dream that you played in the NBA or the NFL?
When I was younger,
Yeah, for sure. Because
yeah,
that's like a dream for most kids.
yeah.
Now, if you have that dream and then you have a father that played basketball, maybe semi-pro, maybe professionally, right?
Mm-hmm,
And you have a grandfather that was like one of the first black basketball players to integrate the NBA. And your
mm-hmm,
mom played for Texas Tech.
mm-hmm.
You have those dreams, you may be like, yo, that's my purpose to play
Mm-hmm.
basketball.
Yeah.
And basketball has like traditionally been used as it's a great game to play. It's a
Mm-hmm.
recreation. It's a great fitness. It's a great
Mm-hmm.
workout. But
Mm-hmm.
we know basketball is to get the fuck about the hood. For a
Yeah.
lot of us, basketball represents a bag,
Mm-hmm.
and that's even if you're playing overseas,
Mm-hmm.
internationally. Like, that's a better bag than just working for the hospital, right? Like, you could
Big
work for the
time.
hospital. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you get college, and you get a college experience been playing ball.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're so good that you just like go straight from the high school or, you know, but you get the college experience at least a little bit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that shit is for something. It's not just for the
Yeah.
love of the game. So I don't like purpose. A lot of times in everything in America, purpose is like capitalistically driven. So I really feel like we're just made to create, and that's procreate, make children to keep the numbers, keep the human
Mm-hmm.
race going, right? And that's just to create our world around us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Create, like, be open to other people's worlds because we all from different worlds, but we from the same planet.
Yeah, I
You
got
know
you.
what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on some shit, like
Mm-hmm.
we from everybody come up in something different. Like your
Mm-hmm.
family, you came up being raised by your family that has a tradition of, you know, ideologies and traditions and
Mm-hmm.
and things that they do and things that ways that you think and things that they say a lame man is.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because that's
Right.
like a thing. So like
Mm-hmm.
every family that come up, that's a different world. That's a different world. We all from different worlds, but we all from the same planet. So that's every black family, every white family, Latin family, every fucking body, right? We all from different worlds, but the same planet. So we got to be open minded to each other in order to to share. That stops the loneliness. That helps us from not being so locked into just what the community is that we was born into,
Mm-hmm.
from being so locked into just that thought process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you only see things from one side, you really only seeing half of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You got to zoom out. You got to zoom out and look at a bigger picture and see things like in its entirety,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I say all that to say this: like the purpose is to create our worlds around us and to
Mm-hmm.
create children. The purpose is not to be a rapper. Like if that's something you want to do in order to make money, be honest about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I don't know if it's
Mm-hmm.
anybody's purpose to be a rapper, and especially with talking about the shit that people be talking about. If you say J. Cole's felt like his purpose was to be a rapper, I could maybe believe you, or Kendrick, I could maybe believe you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody that's doing it that hasn't really gotten that much acclaim, but just still does it, like a Homeboy Sandman, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like dudes that's just rapping. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? They're just gonna keep rapping because they feel like their message needs to get out. If those guys say that's their purpose, all good. But a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us, we gotta just worry about our families, worry about the people that's closest to us, and those
Mm-hmm.
bonds that we create with them is gonna be the greatest creation in the world. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us are using that purpose thing to chase a bag. Like it's my purpose to be big. Listen, it's 8 billion people in this world, bro.
Facts.
8 billion, bro. None of us are important, but we all are important because none of
Mm-hmm.
us are important.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we all like it. We all are individuals, but an individual means nothing without the individual next to that individual. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only way to get a comparison on what that first individual is and what the next individual is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be in this world by yourself. There ain't nobody to what you gonna do. So we
Be
need each
lonely.
other.
Be lonely.
Yeah, exactly. But so we need each other. I think a lot of us get stuck on like this purpose shit. Like, yo, everybody ain't gonna be important. Everybody ain't gonna be a boss. Everybody ain't gonna be a business owner. Everybody ain't gonna be a king or a queen. Everybody ain't gonna be a president. Everybody ain't gonna be a CEO. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Some of us is gonna be regular. And like you was reading that passage earlier, when you're thinking about your funeral, like when rich people die, it's mad liars at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
When rich people die, and when people with some money pass away, and people who got some shit to pass on to people die, it's
Mm-hmm.
mad lies at the funeral. Like when I graduated from high school, and when I turned 18, my sister turned 18, we both got like 80, 90,000 from my dad. Like my
Mm-hmm.
dad left some shit behind. He created some shit. He had a business. When he died, there was liars there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like you could worry about accumulating shit and getting money and you know and having a large network and all that, but think about like your loved ones, like what can they say about you at the end?
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with how generous you are with money, but more so generous with time, generous with advice, generous with love,
Love.
generous with understanding, generous with an ear.
Mm-hmm.
Just to listen to people and not give judgment and not give advice, but just to hear them because we need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, my father killed himself when I was 14. That nigga needed somebody to talk to. On God. That's the realest shit I'll ever say. My father needed somebody to talk to. I don't know my father's friends. I don't even know if my father had friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like most black men don't even have friends, bro. Like we may have friends that we came up with, but once life gets real, you get a wife, you get kids, you got work and overtime and kids and date nights, right? Like when you don't got no time to talk. You ain't got no time to shoot the shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't got no time to shoot the shit with my guys. Like what the fuck time would I have? Like my wife is a stay-at-home mom, until she's ready to, get back out there after having a baby if she wants to. But my wife is a stay-at-home mom. I work multiple fucking jobs, right? I ain't got no time. This is the time I got to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I worked 12 hours Sunday, 12 hours Monday, little short joint, 6 hours on Tuesday, but then was at it today, did another 8 hours today at another spot, gonna do another 10 hours tomorrow at another spot. Got a little pop-up thing to do on Friday, got something to do on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, and it's right back to 12 hours on Sunday, Monday. Like it ain't no time. We ain't got
Mm-hmm.
time. So we gotta purposely make time. Like
Mm-hmm.
and even if we got to get up on these YouTube lives and just talk to each other, like it ain't about nobody else. It's about sharing these ideas. And if we can,
Mm-hmm.
you know, archive them, this is a
Mm-hmm.
great place to archive.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
You're right.
the purpose is to clear your mind, to clear your palate. That should be your purpose. Let that be your purpose, to clear out all of the shit that's bothering you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because the journey is the destination. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Don't get
wherever
distracted. A lot of time we get.
wherever you think you fixing, whatever you think you're getting better at, right now, in the present, is the best you're gonna be at it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the destination. You are healed right now. Even if you're healing more, even if
Mm-hmm.
you're still healing, like even if the scab is half healed, like
Mm-hmm.
it, this moment is the
Mm-hmm.
destination of your healing because you ain't promised 5 minutes from now.
That's true.
So wherever the fuck you are right now, you're supposed to be there. Stand
Mm-hmm.
on that. Wherever you are in your journey, you're supposed to be there, and that's the destination.
Mm.
And you just live it, bro. And just be cognizant, talk to people, be open, don't be so
Mm-hmm.
in your head. I know it's a lot of game face. We in New York City. Nobody don't really trust nobody. That's why nobody say good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel me? Like, nobody don't trust nobody, and nobody is willing to let anybody know that they ain't got their game face on. These niggas got their game face on. Niggas walk past you, mean mug you.
Mm-hmm.
After they see you 4 or 5 times, niggas like, yo, what's good, bro?
They maybe say something.
And y'all be cool. But for
Mm-hmm.
the first 5 times y'all walk past each other, was like, yo, what this nigga looking at, man? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough. It's tough. We tough in New York, but especially in the metropolis cities and the tough cities, and
Mm-hmm.
in our community, we gotta open up to each other. We need all of us. We need the thug niggas. We need the little knuckleheads. We need the niggas that's willing to fight all the time. We need the church
Mm-hmm.
niggas. We need the gay dudes. We need the everybody. We need the ball
Mm-hmm.
players. Like we need the hustlers. We need the stick up kids. Like everybody needs to like be in communication with each other. It can't really be no separation.
Mm-hmm.
And with every other race, we got to be in communication because we be thinking things about people that ain't real. It's just that's just the thought process in our little community.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they be thinking shit about us that ain't real, but that's the thought process in their little community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the internet starts to break that shit down, but also the internet is the internet. Like, and there's people that's posing as black people that's really white people, and people posing as white people that's really black people online. You know, like, you could be anonymous. You can make up whoever the fuck you want to be. You can make that character up. So we just got to be open in real life. Kick up conversations in real life with real people that may or may not echo your sentiments about anything else in the world. Whatever, like, have a conversation. I had a conversation with a dude that was pro-Israel the other day. I was like, bro, let's have this conversation. I'm not going to say what was shared because I don't care to share that right now. That's not even important to what we're talking about. It's important in the world, but it's not necessarily important to this conversation. So I'm not going to share it, but, you know, have discourse. Like, that's the point. Have conversations. You ain't got to, and if somebody believes in some shit that's completely retarded, you don't have to be mad at them. Because remember, for one time or another, you believed in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and all the other fallacies that they taught us, right? So if somebody believes in some shit and it's asinine, you don't have to get mad at them. You don't have to call them out their name or degrade them. That's just what they believe. That's what it makes it. The shit connects to them. It makes sense to them. Now, if you have a point to make to, you know, give them some new information and they don't receive it, all good. Most people can't. It's called cognitive dissonance. You don't want to receive the shit that goes against the shit you already done learned and set yourself on. You made agreements with yourself. So everybody's not going to be able to change their agreements when faced with new, you know, information, new evidence. It's not. Everybody's not going to be like that. So we just got to have grace. Got to have grace for people. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow, bro. We hit some good points tonight, man.
Yeah, light shit.
We had some good points, B. Shoot, man. I definitely want to keep going, but gotta be up tomorrow.
It's all good, man. Back to the grind. At least
Back
you
to
got
the
to
grind.
talk to somebody.
And
Get
that's
some shit off, right?
yeah, and that's therapy. And that's therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
For sure.
therapy.
As well as, you know, I don't think we need to put like a number of a hotline up here because, right, you know, we all got Google, right? So if you or a loved one is suffering from any mental health issues, anxiety, depression, intrusive thoughts, you're thinking about hurting yourself or somebody else, there's a number that you can call.
Just Google it.
Google that number, the National Crisis Helpline, or you could just hit up 311 and tell them that you're having some issues. I think it's 611 for the Department of Health. I'm not sure about that in New York City, but it might be 611. Or you could pull up the numbers, Monty.
Yeah, I got you.
We'll say them.
Key number 4. Because we in real time.
I found this on the web.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's actually a 24-hour number for anxiety. Let me see this. Right. Let me see. Wow, this is crazy.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Back in the days, you would just pop up.
Yo, I'm smoking this West Coast Sour
from
Chosen Remedy.
I
will say this. One of the effects is dry mouth.
Oh.
I feel like I was chewing on sandpaper gum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. This whole conversation, my mouth been dry in a motherfucker.
Oh, man. I wish we was we had a water sponsor.
God.
Understood. Understood.
Right.
Shoot, what happened to like when you would Google something And it's like, dude, 24-hour hotline for anxiety.
And
Let's
we're on our
just,
phone so much, just like you could just like probably just have a chat. You might not even have to talk to the person. You could probably chat. You may be able to FaceTime. Most
they have
about most of
telehealth.
our insurances offer like FaceTime therapy. Like, you got to be self-aware, and if you feel yourself slipping and having thoughts that you can't control, that you can't, you know,
I think
get to
311 is the
side.
best. I think 311 would be the best number for people. I think they could, and they can be redirected to another number.
Yo, 311 or 911 or whatever, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Call them, let them know
Depend,
that you're not
depend
doing
on how
well.
serious, depend on how serious it is, right?
Yeah, let them know you're not doing well, and try to get transferred to somebody that can get you some help immediately. I wish we knew the number offhand. We
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. But we will start having those numbers for my people um to show to show some love, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, man, listen, man, God is great, man, and we'll try to go live. We'll try to go live for a little bit tomorrow, also. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's just keep it
So,
going. It
all
works.
right, Brody.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yo,
You
have a
have a
good one.
blessed one. All right, you
Yes,
too, bro.
sir.
All right.